stay. I'm here to stay.
2 games, 6 points, 7 goals, and we're back into the top 10. A week can be a very long time in football. And suddenly, things are starting to look very promising for Ben Garner's Addicts. Today, the lads are up at Shrewsbury Town away. We go in search of our first league away win of the season. They're currently 2 places and 2 points above us in the league. So if we can get a victory, we would leapfrog them. We could even end the day in the top 6 if other results go our way. Who'd have thought that a couple of weeks ago? Lots to get through ahead of kick-off up in Shropshire. Here's a taster of what's to come. As always, we'll hear from manager Ben Garner, who sat down with Charlton TV commentator Terry Smith yesterday morning. We'll also see how the squad surprised the Charlton Upbeats last week by stopping by at one of their training sessions over the weekend. And we'll also speak to Addicts defender Owen O'Connell, who got his first Charlton goal against Portsmouth on Monday night. Delighted to say the lads are with me, the dream team that is Alan Curbishley and Stevie Brown. Curbs. Stevie Brownie. I hear you're leaving us on Charlton TV, is that right? This is your last appearance? No? Yeah. I mean, the rumour is that you're going to be heading towards 10 Downing Street after today.
Right, is that right?
Yeah.
I think I could do a longer job.
Longer or better?
Oh, I'm so close. Exactly what I said. This is how we respond to that.
Yeah.
I'll do a better job than they can.
I thought you heard something there. Oh no! Oh, listen, you can't make it up, can you? What's going on?
You cannot make it up.
You can't make it up.
Football management, politics, it's incredible, isn't it? I mean, they say a week is a long time in both, and it certainly is for us. I mean, look, I'm beaten in 4. It's, 2 wins in 3, 2 clean sheets in 3 as well, and things are suddenly starting to look positive, aren't they?
I've been saying for a long while that we've got to make this very, very difficult for the opposition. We've got to get a majority of our points here. And I thought it was a pivotal game in midweek against Portsmouth, top of the table team. And really, we totally overawed them, and they was never in it. My concern was about scoring goals as well, but that's been nullified a little bit with the last 2 results. So now we move on to the next thing, getting an away result.
Well, Brownie, we've got, the 4th best home records in the division right now, but we're still on the road searching for our first away league win. Why? When is the last one before Halloween?
But the answer why is we've not performed consistently over 90 minutes away from home yet. Actually, we haven't done it too many times at home either, but we are finding our feet in that respect. I actually thought the turning point was here against Exeter, in terms of when we were 2-1, when they got that goal and it was 2-1 at half time. I thought that was a real vital period when we came out, and if they'd have equalised, without a win, that would have put real pressure on us. I think they would have felt it from the stands, and they didn't. They held out no problem. Actually went on to get 3rd and 4th. And the confidence from that, I think, then led into the Portsmouth game. We were really disappointed in Portsmouth. However, I don't want to take the credit away from us. I thought we were absolutely outstanding for 90 minutes. And I think that's been the problem away from home. We've been excellent in periods, but we haven't managed a 90-minute period away from home yet. And the one time we kind of did get a 90-minute performance, it was in a dreadful game against Lincoln. And they were equally as poor, and it was a real poor game. So hopefully, with the last 2 results, we're going up there with a lot more confidence. Morale should be through the roof, actually. There should be a real buoyancy within the dressing room. And it's not the easiest place to go. I was there last year. It's an awful ground to try and get a result.
You were there last year. How cold was it?
It was cold.
And it was a horrible game, wasn't it?
Disgusting game, yeah. One of the worst, I think, of the season. And we didn't deserve to lose. There shouldn't have been a winner on the day. There shouldn't have been a winner on the day. It should have been 0-0. It was a bit like the Lincoln game the other week. Not a lot going on. Freezing cold. Hard to commentate on. And hopefully we get a better spectacle today.
So you're nice and warm here?
Really warm, actually, yeah.
Okay, that's good. Curbs, as a manager, did you ever go through a stage where the home form was really good, the away form was really poor, and then so how did you turn that around?
Despite you can have a little bit of luck, which we haven't had a lot of, I don't think. But what Brown is saying there about confidence, leading into the next game, I did think after the Exeter game, coming into the Portsmouth one, it was a pivotal game for us. 2 on the spin and against the top side. But now I'm looking at this next week. I'm not just looking at today's game. I'm looking at Tuesday and then Ipswich. Because if we can get the result today, surely that turns them 2 home games into, hold on, we could get in the top 6, which is what has got to be our aim. So, yeah, Brownie's right. The confidence must be great. Whoever's not in the side at the moment know that I can't wait. If I can get in there, I can get in there. And if there's any changes today for whatever reason, they come in with confidence, coming into a team that's playing well. So no, I'm not just looking at today. I know we're talking about the away form, but if we can get the result today, taking us into them 2 home games, then by this time next week, we could be looking.
Millionaires, Rodney.
We could, but we could be looking at that top 4 after playing 2 of them in recent weeks.
We did have a period, right, where we did win a lot at home and we couldn't win away. And actually, I remember it was under you, and what you did do is, like Ben's done, you changed the formation a little bit, you changed personnel a little bit, but you changed travelling arrangements as well. Instead of going overnight, we went up on a day on a train, and we did eventually get the win up at Stoke.
Put a different pair of pants on.
Yeah, all that sort of stuff.
Just all that sort of stuff would have been decent.
But look, the point being, everybody has these runs. And actually, until you get that first win, you get the monkey off your back, and then we were better away from home. But you know as well as we all know that there's a pressure mounts because of media speculation. Oh, they haven't won in 7, they haven't won in 6. You know, and it keeps going until you get that first win.
The pressure mounts if you're not doing well, not picking up points away from home. Puts the pressure on the home form.
Yes.
Because you've got to win that game then. So anyway, today I'm looking at 3 points, but if it's a point, it takes us into these 2 home games, which we, you know, if we do take full advantage of that, then the Valley suddenly becomes a place where no one wants to come.
The games come thick and fast, and we do have 3 within the next 7-8 days, however you decide to look at it. Let's hear from the gaffer, shall we? Ben Garner, who spoke to Terry Smith yesterday.
Ben, I mean, let's start by looking back to Monday. We felt like a performance and a result like that had been coming, but how pleasing was it to get it?
Yeah, really pleasing. I thought it was a really good all-round performance. Fantastic team effort, fantastic work rate. Defensive shape was excellent. Thought we were really dangerous with the ball and created good opportunities, and fantastic to score for a couple of set pieces as well. So all in all, a really good night's work, a great 3 points for us, and something that we can look to build on now.
And we got back-to-back wins now. We're unbeaten in 4, have 2 clean sheets in that time too. Do you feel like we're really clicking into gear?
Yeah, I think we're progressing. I think we have done across the season really on the whole, but we were just picking up too many draws, as we've said numerous times. So a lot of progress in the last couple of weeks now. As you say, clean sheets are really pleasing. 7 goals in 2 games, last 2 home games, fantastic. So we want to make it 3 wins from 3 against Shrewsbury on Saturday, and then look ahead to 2 more home games next week.
Yeah, the $6 million question is, how do we carry that momentum through to Saturday?
We've just got to keep doing what we're doing, build on the performances that we've had. Still areas to improve, of course, and areas that we want to get better at. But we've had 2 really strong performances, and now we can take that into Saturday. Difficult opponents, good home form for them this season, but we're full of confidence, we've got momentum, and obviously we're looking to keep that going on Saturday.
And our fixtures are very congested at the moment. When you get yourself on a little run, is that fixture congestion helpful in any way?
It is what it is. I think there's different stages of the season. There's stages where you have game after game, it seems, and then looking ahead, sort of mid-November, it calms down a lot, and then it's Saturday to Saturday for about 6-7 weeks. So that'll be a good period because it'll give us time on the training ground. But in the meantime, we want to pick up as many wins as we can, both in the league and in the cup competitions.
And Shrewsbury to come on Saturday. As we've said, they've won 5 of their last 7 games in the league. What are you expecting from them?
A tough game. Steve's a really experienced manager, and he's done a good job at Shrewsbury since going in, and it's great to see him in full health now after his difficulties that he had with COVID. But they're very organised defensively. They're very structured. They defend in a really low block and make it hard for teams to play through them, and then they look to counter-attack. They play through the pitch pretty quickly, and then they've got a threat of set pieces. So that's been the basis of their success this season and what's got them results. So we're fully aware of what challenge is coming. But like we've said, we've had 2 good performances, 2 good wins, and we're looking to make it 3 from 3.
And just finally, a word for the supporters who are making the trip to Shropshire. I mean, the fans in the last 2 home games have been excellent, haven't they?
Yeah, it's been brilliant, and that has been a massive help, as I said, after both games, to have that positivity from the stands, to create the atmosphere that we have at the Valley, and get the results that we've done this season has been brilliant. And as I've said several times, we really appreciate the away support and the effort that goes into travelling and making the journeys. Obviously, we're frustrated we haven't given them 3 points as yet on the road, but we'll be doing our utmost to put that right on Saturday.
Yeah, let's hope the fans will be coming away from there with the first away win of the season and 3 points. And just take a look at that. We talk about consistency. Well, there's just one change from midweek, and that's Corey Blackett-Taylor. We think is injured, not 100% sure. It's not been fully confirmed yet. So 19-year-old Tyrese Campbell, who has been at the club since he was 9, makes his full league debut. Curbs?
Well, that's an interesting one, isn't it? Obviously, Corey Blackett, we know, it's so frustrating that, you know, he's got these injury problems, very similar to Innes, you know, that you're hopeful and Chucks, you're hopeful from week in, week out, and it'll be okay. Because he's been brilliant, Corey Blackett, for me.
Definitely.
But there's no better time to put a youngster in when you're doing all right, you know, and the team's playing well. And no, it's good to see as well. I think we've said it so far this year with Miles and 1 or 2 other young boys that it's great for the academy when they see this happen. And you know, and that's the thing. We need to produce our own homegrown talent. So look, hopefully we can see a good performance from him today.
Yeah, like for like. You know, Tyrese came on, I think, a few weeks back and is lightning fast. Likes to get in the 1v1 positions and take people on. I think that's why we've perhaps gone that way rather than one of the more senior players sat on the bench today, because it's pace in wide areas that's proving difficult for opposition to stop at the moment. We've got 2 full-backs that both like to get forward. I think Sessegnon's just going to get better and better and better as he gets fitter and fitter and fitter. I think you're going to see him get up and down that line a lot more as we progress through the season. He'll be able to get up and down across the 90 rather than for 60, 70. But I just think it's about, you know, we've looked really productive in wide areas. Can we keep the sort of same level of player in those positions?
Absolutely. I mean, you mentioned Sessegnon. I really like both fullbacks, actually. I think they can do really well at this level and perhaps even at a higher level as well. It is interesting, though, isn't it? You've got Jack Payne who's on the bench. Charlie could have gone out wide, and Jack, who's probably a number 10, stroke second striker, would have been there. So what does it tell you about him? But what does it tell you about how Ben clearly thinks of Tyrese?
Well, there's a couple of things going into it. I thought we looked very athletic and quick on Tuesday, and on the counter-attack, and you know, we're away from home, so perhaps that's going to come into play. Both fullbacks are very, very quick, and both wide men, and if we can get the wide men one-on-one, then I think we can cause some problems. So he's actually gone for pace, I think, more than anything else.
But he's trying to get that consistency, isn't he? As Brownie says, like for like. We've been good in the last 2 games. Let's try and, OK, Corey's not right. And he has been great, I think, in the last few games. And I really like him when he's on fire. Trying to do like for like because we just want to keep that consistency.
Well, we've mentioned it on quite a few occasions. Consistent team selection, consistent results. Either way, you need both of them. I don't know what comes first, but it looks, if we can get the result today, that we've got both in place. Consistent team selection, consistent result.
Is that almost as big as like the chicken in the egg? Which comes first there as well. Let's look at the league table, shall we? We are, of course, in the top half. We are in 10th as it stands, as Monday's victory saw us get up to there. Just 2 points off the playoff places. Another win this afternoon, and we could finish today as high as 4th, but that will mean a lot of results elsewhere would have to go our way. The top 7 remain unchanged following last weekend's results, while today's opponent Shrewsbury rose to 8th with a 1-0 triumph at Fleetwood on Saturday. Steve Cottrell's side are only outside of the playoffs on goal difference. Great to see him doing well, both on a personal level as well as professional, isn't it? Bristol Rovers climbed into the top half following an emphatic 4-1 victory at Cheltenham last weekend. That's 3 league victories on the spin now for Jerry Barton's side, who have gone from 21st to 12th in the space of a week. And Curbs, as I said, up to 10th now. We could finish today in the top 6. It just is incredible still how tight things are at the moment, isn't it, in this division?
But I think the top 2 at the moment, you know, they're sort of pulling away, if you like. Sheffield Wednesday might be able to catch them, but no, there's no reason why. If we have a fantastic week, which I'm looking forward to, especially the Ipswich game, but if we can have a great week from now, Tuesday and Saturday, we'll find ourselves in the top 6.
Yeah, Brownie's been an impressive change of fortunes for Bristol Rovers. They've gone up 9 places, and with 3 games in a week coming up for us, we could do something similar, couldn't we?
Absolutely. Listen, we can only put points on the board, which we've done in the last 7 days, and look what it's done. And what comes of that is in terms of, we were talking about looking over our shoulder a few weeks back and the pressure that was bringing, and that's gone. So that pressure of looking over our shoulders gone, and actually you're right, you start looking up, and we can certainly do that. I mean, when fixtures come thick and fast, it works both ways. So, you know, if you lose 3 on the trot, which, you know, let's talk on a positive, if we win 3 on the trot, we will be in the playoffs, and none of us were talking like that a month to 6 weeks ago, and that's, I think that's less. And I think that's a real positive for everybody connected, because let's be honest with you, doing studio work, being a player, it's much easier and much happier when things are going well.
Yeah.
You know, so it makes a difference for everybody.
Yeah. Did I just hear Stevie Brown said he's looking up?
It was a hard thing to say. I nearly choked on that. Really? But I knew it was the right thing to say.
But it is interesting, isn't it? You know, the game's coming thick and fast. Do you like it? Well, if we're winning, yes. If we're losing, no. That's basically it, isn't it? Let's have a look at the fixtures going on in Sky Bet League One today, shall we? We know that Ipswich beat Derby 1-0 last night, thanks to a Wes Byrne second-half goal. It is 1-1 currently between Lincoln and Sheffield Wednesday. They're halfway through the second half there, perhaps about 20 minutes to go. Lincoln kicked off against, table toppers Plymouth take on a resurgent Bristol Rovers side at the Memorial Stadium at the foot of the table. Second bottom versus fourth bottom as Burton faced Cheltenham at the Pirelli. MK Dons, so we host at the Valley here on Tuesday. We're looking to end the run of 4 successive league defeats at home to Wickham, and the fourth place Peterborough travel to Oxford will be buoyed by their first league win in 5, which came at Exeter last weekend. And Brownie, we've already touched on Bristol Rovers' recent form. They face a Plymouth side who are unbeaten since we hammered them here at the Valley mid-August. I mean, that's a really good game, that, isn't it? Test for both. Yeah,
do you know what? If you hadn't have mentioned the Bristol Rovers form, I wouldn't have picked that out as a game of the day. But now you have, that takes on more significance. You know, I was looking at the Oxford-Peterborough one, because Oxford need to pick up. So Carl Robinson's under a bit of pressure there. You know, they've started poorly. Peterborough, we know, need to maintain the playoff position. So I thought that was maybe the fixture of the day. But now you've mentioned Bristol Rovers on that run, that one takes on significance. I can't get over how well Plymouth have done.
Yes.
Because, I mean, if you look at their points per game return, I think, 34 points. I mean, it's like 2.3 points per game. It's incredible.
And we didn't just beat them, we thrashed them. Curbs said chooses opponents on MK Dons. 4 league losses in a row, shipped 10 goals in that time. And after coming a game away from being automatically promoted, it's a massive drop, isn't it? So do we want them to lose 5 on the spin coming ahead of Tuesday?
I do. No, I think that's the game I'm looking at, because that's our next game. If they get beat, you're talking about momentum going that way or that way. If they get beat, they're not going to enjoy coming here after a couple of our performances. I'm just looking at the teams that are in the top 4 or 5. They look like they could pick the results up today. You know, so it's important that if we think that, you know, we're talking about that top 6, we pick something up, because look at them fixtures on paper. It looks like the teams in the top 4 or 5 will pick points up.
Yeah. OK, right, as always, let's take a quick break from today, shall we, and get to our club news updates. And we shall start with ticketing news. Let's have a look. There we go. We have a big week coming up at the Valley with 2 home games to come. Up first, we face MK Dons on Tuesday night, and we host Ipswich 4 days later, next Saturday, October the 29th. Ipswich already sold out the way in, so it promises to be a fantastic atmosphere for that one in particular. We know you love a big crowd, Curbs, don't you?
I do. And I think the players do.
Absolutely.
And that's my only negative for the last week, has been the crowd. You know, and there was problems here Tuesday night, everyone knows that. But if we can pick up something Tuesday night, let's hope it's a bumper crowd against Ipswich.
Absolutely. Tickets for both matches on sale, and you can get yours now by heading to booking.cafc.co.uk. Remember, match ticket prices have been reduced for the remainder of the calendar year, and we would love to have as many fans as possible in for both matches. Staying with ticketing, we'd like to keep on reminding fans that they can make even further savings on the cost of match tickets by purchasing an Addicts 3-pack. The pack enables you to make one purchase and then select 3 home league fixtures that you would like to attend between now and Boxing Day. You don't have to select all 3 matches at the time of purchase. You can choose your games as and when you want to. And what's more, you will save £10 on the cost of 3 individual tickets. As I said a moment ago, our next game is on Tuesday night against MK Dons. And to get your Addicts 3-pack, please head to booking.cafc.co.uk. Lastly, on ticketing, we'd like to encourage all Charlton supporters to head down to the Oakwood next Sunday, October the 30th, to support the Addicts women's side. They take on Bristol City in the Barclays Women's Championship, with the match kicking off at 2 p.m. Bristol City are the division's league leaders at present. They are currently unbeaten, so it's sure to be a very tough test for Karen Hills' side. You can get your tickets in advance from booking.cafc.co.uk. or get them from the turnstiles on the day. What's more, if your child attends in their grassroots kit, they can gain entry for just £1. Before next Sunday, the Addicts are in action against Lewis. That's at the Dripping Pan, and tomorrow we wish them all the very best of luck. International fans are reminded that annual and monthly Charlton TV subscriptions remain on sale. They're priced at £220 per annum or £35 per month. So if you're currently paying £10 for match passes every week, why not upgrade? An annual subscription lasts for 12 months. So if you get yours now, it will take you into the start of next season as well. You'll still get just as much value for money by buying now, as well as streaming. Don't forget, there's also a host of other live content to go with your subscription, including the live streaming of under-21s and the women's team home fixtures. And you can get yours by heading to cafc.co.uk now. Well, with the Addicts in action against Portsmouth on Monday night, some fans may have missed the draw for the first round of the FA Cup. Brownie didn't, Curbs didn't, and we've been drawn at home to Southern League Premier Central Division club Curbishley Town. And Curbishley, who are based in Leicestershire and play in the 7th tier of English football, knocked out Notts County in the final qualifying round. So they will arrive at the Valley with some giant killing pedigree, and our first round tie will be contested Saturday, November the 5th. Well, staying with Cup football, and Charlton's under-21s booked their place at the next round of the London Senior Cup by overcoming Phoenix Sports at the May Place grounds last week. Dylan Gavin opened the scoring after being teed up by Tyrese Campbell. Let's hope we see a similar thing today. And the scoring was wrapped up by Tolu Ladapo. His second goal of the night, a fine individual effort, ensured that the young Addicts claimed a 6-0 victory. They'll now face Welling United in round 2, and full details on that tie released in due course. Are you watching from abroad today? We'd like to remind all of our overseas supporters that the club's next International Supporters Day will be taking place next Saturday. That's October the 29th, when we host Ipswich at the Valley. We would love to see as many international supporters as possible here at the game. So if you're currently abroad and would like to make the trip, then please email fans@cafc.co.uk. OK, right, our award-winning Charlton Athletic Community Trust hosted their annual awards night last week. Let's take a quick look at what was a great night at the House of Lords.
Well, all the talk in football is about the money that goes out through the players' entrance to the agents and the players and so on. But when you see a £6 million plus sum being raised to help the community, it's so special, and it says so much about what Charlton Athletics stands for. And I wish the rest of football was as good at it as we were.
Really interesting, firstly, in a great setting here, and also very humbling, if I'm honest, to see the amount of work that goes on, the amount of sacrifice that's made, the amount of difference that's been made in people's lives, and different strands of the trust that go on was really eye-opening, to be honest.
Yeah, just congratulations, really. I think it's wonderful for them to be shortlisted in the first place, because I was part of the judging panel, luckily enough, and I saw so many wonderful people that were shortlisted and nominated. So yeah, it's just brilliant to be part of it, and well done for everything you've done for the trust. So.
Just the exciting value that Charlton continue to bring to the local community, and continue to grow really throughout the Kent County as well. It was probably one of the biggest deciding factors, I think, in why RSK wanted to partner with Charlton. Obviously the history they've been doing, and then us being able to kind of help branch that out into more of the environmental mindset as well.
to be recognised for the work that we do. I do just a little bit of the whole of what CAC do, but we invest in young people and the community, and that's what we do. It's natural.
I have to thank everybody involved with Invicta, from the committee that worked tirelessly to all the players, you know, everyone that supports us. It's about everybody, really.
And this is a moment to recognise achievement that's only been made possible by those who support the Trust and the work of the Trust. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that is absolutely fantastic. Jason Morgan and his team, brilliant. And I have to say, even when I was part of the EFL judging panel on the Community Awards, well, on the pitch and off the pitch, it was almost like Charlton are the beacon. Never told not to vote for them, but it was almost like they win everything all the time. We want other clubs to feel that they're winning things as well. So, Jace, well done, mate, and well done to everybody part of the team. OK, moving on now. And the Charlton Upbeats were taking part in their regular weekend training session on Saturday, but then they were interrupted by Ben Garner's first team squad. Let's take a look.
Yeah, I met Jonathan last week at the Community Trust Awards and heard about this great scheme, and they were training here right next to us today, so we took the opportunity to come across as a staff and as a squad for our players to come and meet the guys, and it's been fantastic. It's great to see how much love and passion they've got for the game and to meet these incredible people. I think it's nice for our players to see what goes on in other areas of the club, and for them to understand what a privileged position they've got and how much love for football everyone has. And it's a fantastic setup here. They've done really well in their own national tournament, and I think they all really enjoyed it, both sets of players, so it was great.
I met the main Charlton Athletics, and they do mean the world to me because my dream has come true from the Upbeats, and I've been doing it for over 10 or 12 years. We got all of the Charlton Upbeats that's training with us, with Gabby and Terry and the others, and to summarise, I would give it 10 out of 10 for the Upbeats. Upbeats!
Oh, it's brilliant to see the lads engaging with the Upbeats, isn't it? Jonathan West sends me stuff on Instagram with photos. There's a shot, him alongside Ben there as well. Jonathan keeps sending those photos. So, I mean, look, it's great to see that, isn't it? I mean, that's what this club's all about. It's not just on the pitch, but one of the very best off it as well.
Yeah, and it's so successful that I think other clubs come and ask how it's done, basically. You know, come down and see Jason and the team and the work they put in, because they want to replicate their own clubs, but unfortunately can't. And we're still at the top. We're
still way ahead in the community. But yeah, it's great to see all the clubs around the country doing that. But again, well done to Ben and the boys. And Jonathan, keep those photos coming. OK, back to on the pitch matters now. And defender Owen O'Connell claimed his first Charlton goal on Monday night. It's been a tough start to life at Charlton for the centre-back, not the only one, but he has been in great form recently. And the vice-captain spoke to Charlton TV yesterday to look ahead to today's game.
Owen, Monday night, first Charlton goal. How did that feel?
Yeah, really nice. Yeah, it was good. I don't score many, so it was a good night to get it, and it was good to kind of get the third one to definitely wrap the game up, so yeah, delighted.
When it came as well in obviously a brilliant team performance, did you feel like a series of results had maybe been coming?
I think so, yeah. I think, you know, performance-wise, I think we've been quite consistent, obviously, with the odd poor one, but I felt like the results were coming, and obviously we've had to reap the benefits of those performances with the last two wins, but we just look to push on now again.
I think after Saturday we'll be pretty much a third of the way through the league season. Do you feel like, as a group, we're really starting to gel?
I think so, yeah. I think, you know, obviously I've come in the summer, so getting to know everyone, but I think, yeah, I think we've gelled really quickly, and I think, you know, we had a decent start, and then maybe weren't really happy with the way things were going for a while, but I think we've remained consistent in the way we've trained and in the way we are with each other throughout, so I think that can only help us, and I think, yeah, we've gelled really quickly, and everyone seems to be enjoying it.
And it felt like at the training ground, even when results weren't necessarily going our way, everyone was still positive. I mean, how important was that that sort of need to stay upbeat?
Yeah, I think so. I think you know, we all know that that's very important, and I think, you know, there's going to be obvious disappointments when you aren't getting results that you want, but I think it's important for us to stay with each other, and we've got brilliant lads around the place who you know, everyone's together and makes it easy when you come in to move on from whether it's a winner or a defeat or a draw or whatever. So we've been good at that no matter what it is, so we just always move on to the next one quite quickly.
And you're obviously our vice captain, you were captain up at Rochdale. How much importance do you place yourself on sort of keeping people G'd up and positive and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think it's vitally important. You know, I think it's important we stay around each other, like I said, but I think obviously a bit more important for me in terms of that role. But I think we've got the group here where everyone pushes each other and everyone keeps each other going, and no matter what we need. So I think it's quite easy for me to be there and to help lads and make sure everyone is still positive, because everyone doesn't need to be told, or everyone's like that anyway.
You haven't been here for too long, but I think you're probably learning already more about sort of the wider club. You and the rest of the squad went over to meet the Upbeats over the weekend. I mean, how nice was that? Yeah, brilliant. Really, really nice. I think we all enjoyed it. We all said coming back, as a team, we loved you and stuff like that, and it's really nice for us. I think it give us a little lift as well going into the game at the weekend, and yeah, we really enjoyed it, just going over there and seeing all the smiles and blending in with them. It was brilliant. And how important is it that a football club, and particularly their first team squad, are engaged in the community? Oh, huge. Yeah, I think, you know, it's vitally important, because they're coming to games, but then to get to come and see us and see faces, I think is massive for the people around. And you know, I think the size of this club, it's vitally important that we do things like that and you know, really build a relationship with the wider community. And back to things on the pitch now, as well as the back-to-back wins. I think it's 2 clean sheets in 3 games. So how positive are things here now? Yeah, really, really happy with that. I think, you know, we feel like we've defended quite well in most games, but maybe just haven't had the rub of the green sometimes. But yeah, to have 2 in the last 3 games is a really nice thing for us defensively. But I think, you know, it's a whole team. I think you've seen the last few games how hard everyone's worked, and you know, that's the way it needs to be to get clean sheets in this league. And Shrewsbury to come on Saturday, what are we expecting from them? Yeah, obviously a decent team. I think every game's a tough game in this league, you know what I mean? We've obviously built some momentum now with the last few games. It's up to us to kind of carry that on and try and take it into the next game, and that's Shrewsbury, and we'll just be going there and try and, you know, put a performance on and put our stamp on the game and hopefully get a result. And no away win just yet, but positive signs on the road. Now we've got these back-to-back home wins behind us. Do we go into that game sort of any differently? Yeah, I think so. I think, you know, like you say, I think the manager said in previous weeks it was up to us to kind of create some momentum, and I think we've done that with the results. I think away from home, you know, we've been really close. Some of our actual best performances, I think, have been away from home. I think like Sheffield Wednesday, I thought we played really well, and there's a couple other games in there. So I think we just need to, you know, I think once you get the first one out of the way, you can build on that then. So I think, like you say, if we can create that momentum away from home as well, it would be a big thing for us.
Yeah, I mean, look, Curbs, it was a really good performance from Owen on Monday, wasn't it? And he has had a tricky start to this season, but he hasn't been the only one. But do you feel he's growing into the role? Yeah,
and he's had different partners at different times. We've played back 4, then a back 5, and etc. So it has been a bit of a mixed bunch for him. But I'm pleased with him getting a goal, because I've been saying the 2 centre-backs, yes. For me, the back 4 got to contribute. They've got to get to double figures, for me. You know, it'd be nice to see the full-backs chip in. But the 2 centre-backs got a goal each on Tuesday. So, yeah, and he's been the constant in the back 4 or 5, hasn't he? So, you know, coming for, you know, fitting in, I think left-footed as well, you know, because that's, you know, all the other centre-backs are right-footed, so that's his position at the moment, so he's done well. Mm.
Getting better defensively, and his distribution is good, isn't it?
Absolutely. I don't think there's any question on his distribution. He showed that quite early on. Pleased for him, actually, because it's been a tricky start, and it's your job, actually, as a player to win the fans over. It's not their job to like you or dislike you. It's your job to go out and perform and win them over so they back you. And I guess you could look at George Dobson for somebody who's in the team right now who's done that. He has fans on side, and when he has a slightly poorer game, it gets sort of brushed under the carpet because he's sort of won the crowd over. Yes. So, you know, when you haven't won them over, a poor performance gets accentuated. And I feel like that's what's happened with Owen. But I think he will improve. You can see that there's improvements coming.
And do you like the central defensive partnership of him and Ryan? That seems to be what Ben likes.
It does seem to be the one the manager's gone with, yeah, for sure. I think with any partnership you learn to grow it, don't you? It's the manager can pick what he likes, and then if you're not in that, it's your job to work out what works best with somebody if you were to get in. And I when I was alongside Richard, it was a combination I used to like, because I could push Richard around a bit and just sweep up behind him.
He was still down, you could bully him basically. He was
It's yours, Rich, it's yours.
But it is your job to work out as a pair and then as a back four what works best. And we're, like you just mentioned earlier off air, 2 players in this lineup today from the same fixture at the end of last season. So there's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of new partnerships that are being made. There's a lot of people learning to understand their teammates, and it's not an excuse. Well, that is a genuine.
That's quite amazing, because I found an old programme from when we played Shrewsbury last year, April the 29th. There's only 2 players playing, and there's only 2 for Shrewsbury as well. So the turnover's been phenomenal in both sides.
It happens at all levels, doesn't it, quite clearly. Look, we were so good against Portsmouth on Monday. Let's have a look back at it. Would you say, Curbs, it was our most complete performance?
Yeah, because I never felt threatened by Portsmouth. I don't think they really got going, and that's a lot to do with us, I think. And Brownie said we kept the ball so well that Portsmouth couldn't get their forwards into the game who could have been dangerous. That's the only thing I can remember that Portsmouth did.
Yeah. No, I thought we were so good as an attacking side. The whole performance was excellent. The one thing that I picked out in commentary was that's the best I've seen us work as a team together for 90 minutes. It wasn't a half-hour spell. It was 90 minutes of hard work, and that culminated with opportunities like this. If you go back to that Barnsley game, Scotty, that we attended, we had chances like that. Couldn't even hit the target. And it's important when you get the opportunities like that you tuck them away, because it makes a world of difference. And I thought we were so good as an attacking side, it was what Curbs was alluding to, that it kind of took away from their strengths, their attack.
And when you get your noses in front, it's up to the opposition then, and we're seeing them react. We're seeing their manager make changes, where for so long it's been us chasing the game and we're making the changes to try and get back in it. So the start has been really important in both games, and it's given us the platform to go on.
Yeah, but, look at that there as well, Kurt. Receiving in his own half, 15 yards, back to goal, first touch on the back foot turn, 30, 40 yard run with it, and we're breaking down their left-hand side. That's a fantastic save, and you're just in a save from Raksaki. And that's why I thought the scoreline could have been great, and it was. I said at the end of commentary, it's 3-0, but that could have been so much more tonight.
But it wasn't just 3-0 either, was it? It was against any old side. It was a side that, if you looked at the table before the night, pushing for an automatic promotion place, not just playoffs.
And that's what I'm saying about making a statement. And, we've done that now on a couple of occasions with Plymouth as well. And that's why I think this week, I don't want to get beyond myself, but I'm talking about the 2 home games, because that one against Ipswich, who are at the top of the table, if we can take a fair amount of points leading up to that, that's a real tester for everybody, and a marker. I think we could put a marker down in this league.
Well, lots of fans, you've mentioned it. You mentioned it on Monday, and you've mentioned it already today. So maybe I'll throw it to you then, Brownie, in terms of from a playing point of view. The fans didn't really turn up on Monday. They could watch it, whether it be Charlton TV or on Sky Sports. But do you feel the next couple of home games they will be turning up, and how important is it from a playing point of view that they do?
I think that's perspective of the fan, point of view, and how the club is, because the team can do no more than put results together. That should normally be enough to swell the crowd, but that's not always the case, is it?
No, but you understand where the fans were, say, even just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
in terms of what they've seen off the pitch.
I would say if we don't see an improvement in the crowd, if we were to get a result today for the next home game, then there's an issue.
I thought it was a perfect storm on Monday night. There was problems at the Dartford Bridge with the protesters, which put a lot of pressure on the Blackwood Tunnel. It was live on Sky as well.
There must be always protesters on the Blackwood Tunnel there, surely, Curbs.
It's normally me driving through it. But then you've got live on Sky. So you had everything, and, perhaps too many things going in it, and the fans have missed a real top performance from the team. So can we follow it on this week, and they come in on Tuesday and they come in on Saturday, and really get behind the side, and then you get a feeling something's happening.
Yeah.
You know, you get a bit of momentum, and the fans are happy, the players are happy, and that's a good combination.
I think a win today does that. Don't forget you can WhatsApp any questions to the guys, and we'll get the questions out there. Paul in New York, good place.
Lucky boy.
Last year we had the worst disciplinary record in the league with 104 yellows. How do you think Ben has tightened it up, and will we benefit from that?
Yeah, I never really noticed that last year, did you?
I knew there was a disciplinary problem. Yeah, we did discuss it, I think. But the fact of the matter is, it goes hand in glove with what you said earlier about how many changes there are. It's a different squad. It's a different manager. There's a different mentality. So we, in terms of how Ben approaches the season, it's more about the attacking game, which doesn't put our backline under so much pressure, and when it does come under pressure, it's not really a bullying backline.
I think a lot of them,
it's more of a Scotty Minto backline.
Go on, carry on with that definition.
Well, a lot of love.
No.
A lot of love.
But I think also, when it's a frustrating time, you get them like meaningless bookings, don't you? People are angry with each other and etc. So when things are going well, you probably do have a better disciplinary record.
OK, let's remind ourselves of not just our team, but let's have a look at the Shrewsbury team as well. The big one, the headline in terms of us, which obviously is the more important, is that Tyrese Campbell's in, number 43 at the bottom there. What are you saying to him, Curbs, right now, if you're Ben?
Make sure, make sure your first couple of touches that you keep hold of it. Don't try too many things, you know, just get into the game. You don't want to give the ball away the first couple of touches, then be under a little bit of pressure. And go out and enjoy yourself as much as you can say. And if you get one-on-one in that final third, then show us what you got, because that's why you're in the team.
My full league debut was at the Den, the old Den.
Yeah.
I went in late on Terry Hurlock after 2 minutes. Keith Stevens did me 20 minutes later. I had marks on my side and my hip for 18 months, but I saw it as a badge of honour.
I think that was better than Terry doing, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. I'll take that. You know Terry very well, don't you? In terms of Shrewsbury, I mean, look, they've won 5 of the last 7, Brownie, and they've also won the last 3 at home, haven't they? So this will not be easy. This will be, in fact, more difficult than last season.
Yeah, and dare I say, more difficult than the last 2 home games. You know, Steve Cottrell's notorious for being stingy defensively. They normally play very deep and compact, so we've got a lot of work to do to break them down. It looks like they've gone with the same team, which was a back 3, which we know will quickly turn into a back 5 when they're out of possession. Yeah. So we're going to have to be bright and lively and play a high tempo, you know, in terms of moving the ball in the final third today, because anything slow, anything with no movement off the shoulder or off the ball, they're just going to sit, and they're going to be very, very difficult to break down.
And once again, I'm looking at the stadium and the pitch, you know, and there's no complaints about that.
Not at all.
No. So we should be able to get the ball down and knock it about.
It's amazing, isn't it? Back on our day, Shrewsbury away, Morecambe away, Fleetwood away, you know, terrible pitches and really small stadiums, and now it looks amazing. So there are no excuses. So what are you expecting, Brownie?
A very, very tight game. Got 1 goal either way, and you have to give Shrewsbury that respect. They're in it. But both sides are actually, with our recent results, are in decent runs of form. So I expect a very, very tight game. 1 goal either way. Just please make it a little bit more exciting than last season.
I think we all echo that. Curbs, who are you looking to sort of stand out today?
I think Dobson and Fraser have surprised me as a pair.
Yeah.
And there's some extra workload there in some cases. So I'm looking at them too. Can they keep it up? Because I think that has been the catalyst of the performances, them two in midfield.
Yeah, I think Scott's been surprised at how well he's done defensively. We know he's good going forward, but playing as a 2, he hasn't done that before.
He spoke about it during the week, and although I disagree with some of the comments he made, I did agree that actually that partnership, which I think we all sat there and went 3v2 against that, we're going to come under severe pressure, but actually they were tremendous on Monday night.
And the one person I just want to see get on the end of something, Kirk.
Yeah, or Stockley for me.
I just think he needs a little bit of a lift.
Yeah.
And, you know, he looks like he's enjoying the role he's got at the moment. It'd be nice if he could finish something and get that confidence.
Yeah. The difference between... I agree with you on that, by the way. I think Kirk... But Kirk would equally enjoy an assist, whereas Stockley, I think, needs the goal.
Yeah.
I totally agree. OK. Well, it looks like there's going to be a moment's reflection, or we'll take the knee. Let's get to our commentary team, shall we? Terry Smith and Greg Stubley.
Thank you, Brownie. And yes, welcome to the Montgomery Waters Meadow Stadium here in Shropshire. The Addicts taking on Shrewsbury, slightly warmer than the last time we were here, and alongside me, Greg Stubley has thawed out since then, just about. And hoping for a bit of revenge this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of talk about that game with Shrewsbury last year, which goes to show how awful it was of a day. It was so cold, there was a lot of wind, wasn't nice conditions to play football. Can't be said of that today. It's a nice mild day.